All right, interesting. This has been a discussion that indeed we were trying to have with Anne Kioko from Citizen Go Africa, because now a group of reproductive health lobbies staged a demonstration in Nairobi and, of course, demanding that anti-abortion billboards be brought down. In a petition addressed to Governor Mike Sonko, the activists from the Center for Reproductive Health, the Federation of Women Lawmakers, and the Women Link Worldwide, among others, argued that the messaging instills stigma against abortion. But Sozo Church of God, which sponsored the ads, dismissed the claims. Meantime, the activists have given the county government 14 days to act, or they will sue and continue their protests. Sozo Church of God said it will not back off. One of its billboards at Westlands Matatu Station calls for closure of abortion clinics. Another one reads, "Abortion is murder." And of course, the story earlier, and Kioko from Citizen Go Africa is here with me. And this conversation basically wants to, we want to dwell on the issue at hand. And good morning, first of all.
Good morning, Nick. Thank you for having me.
Karibu sana.
Yeah.
Billboards, the message, abortion is murder. You guys tried, of course, in Kenya, abortion is a crime.
Yeah. Article 26 of the Kenyan Constitution of 2010 states that everyone has a right to life, and it also specifies that life begins at conception. So our constitution is very pro-life, and also the penal code of the Kenyan law also states that anybody that procures an abortion is liable for 14 years imprisonment. And actually, if you're caught procuring or even carrying out the abortion, you should be imprisoned.
Okay, so who are these people who came out very strongly? Because by the time you have the audacity and the green light to demonstrate, of course, they call it peaceful demonstration, it means you have the support financially, you have the support from bodies that actually given you the mandate, and of course, just the powers to now put down the billboards. That means there's someone somewhere, or an organization somewhere catapulting all this.
Well, yeah, I think I saw some photos of a handful of people, and they were carrying out, they were carrying some banners. And what is happening in Kenya is that we are facing a real challenge, because we have pro-abortion organizations that have pitched camp here in Kenya. We have, you're seeing marriage stops. Last year they were banned from carrying out abortions because they were caught advertising abortions.
But they're now back, actually.
Yeah, they're now back, and
with some rules. In some rules actually which are put out.
Yeah, they're back, but we know that they're still carrying out abortions, and we are encouraging the public to come out. People who have gone inside there, had an abortion. Actually, we have some of those people who went to marriage stops this year, even after the medical board told them not to procure abortions. Some of those women, you know, abortion actually affects women really negatively. So after an abortion, you think you have solved your problem, but really it is starting another problem in your life.
Okay.
So the same women come to us. They say, you know, I went to marriage stops, I've done this abortion, and it's really affecting me. I'm suicidal. I'm having a lot of, there's so many side effects. And these women need to be talked to. And you ask them, okay, so you went to marriage stops this year, even after a medical board did this and that. They say, yes. So we know they are still carrying out abortion, and we are encouraging the public to be the eye on our behalf and on behalf of the medical board, because we need to catch them red-handed with evidence, and we need to see marriage stops closed down. Because what they are doing is carrying out an abortion business here. They go procure abortions and charge 5,000. They charge 5,000. Actually, it's not free. So it's a business by these guys. And also we have some other organizations that are working together with the International Planned Parenthood Federation. This is the largest, the biggest abortion corporation in the world. It's headquartered in the United States. And these people have been closed down in the United States. They have actually been defunded by states, because what they have been doing is carrying out abortions and you know, selling baby parts, because this is an industry, it's a business for them.
Okay. Now, so something else, just cut you short. For example, maybe we have someone from marriage stops right here, and from the figures you're giving us, and also from the allegations, actually, are they, maybe a good question actually being asked, allegations, are they factual? What do you think about even the people who now, because when you say the county government of Nairobi, that means there are people in the county government who are pro-abortion. Yeah,
that's very true. And yeah, I faced marriage stops. I'm not just bluffing around. I faced them in an inquiry formed by the Ministry of Health, and we are faced. I've given evidence against them, so I'm not like bluffing about this issue. There's evidence. They've been procuring abortions, and that's why they were banned. And actually, even besides that, they have been given contraception to teenage girls, and this has been really a big issue here in Kenya. Yeah, and these billboards that have been actually pulled down by. It's not actually by the county government. It's by Adopt a Light Limited. Okay. Adopt a Light is owned by the woman rep of Nairobi. She's Esther Passaris. And what happened is that after these groups went to demonstrate and all that, gave their petition of 500 signatures, the woman rep wrote to Sozo Church of God. I'm very in touch with the Reverend Kathy, who is in charge of the Sozo Church of God. Okay. This church sponsored these billboards, and the motive of these billboards were to create an awareness that there's another option. Instead of doing an abortion, there's counseling, there's adoption, there is crisis pregnancy centers where you can go to. You can actually even give birth in a center and go back to your school, for example, if you're a teenager, or if you don't really want this child, there are people who can help you through adoption and all that. So she was trying to encourage people to go for these other alternatives. Okay. And also to create an awareness that when you are doing an abortion, you're actually killing somebody else. Okay. Because she had, this billboard actually had a fetus inside the womb. Okay. This fetus was shown when it is weeks in the womb, and it was showing that it's a human being. It has hands, it has ears, a head. I mean, the structure of a baby inside the womb. And this was the clear picture she was giving the women of Nairobi, because we have seen the abortions, the pro-abortion people are trying to make it so easy, like it is your body, you can just go have an abortion. So she was trying to demystify this. It's not your body. When you're pregnant, there are two people. There's the baby inside you, and then there's your body. So, and the woman doesn't have a say over that other body inside you.
Something else, we've had so many situations in this country where, of course, issues of rape, sometimes incest, situations whereby an abortion is given a green light.
Yeah, those are very sad cases and very rare also, but they do happen. And what we encourage people who have gone through those very traumatizing situations is to go through counseling. Because let me tell you, Nick, if I am...
Well, just cut it short.
Yep.
You'll go through counseling and then you raise a child from a rapist.
Yeah, I know. And
yeah, it's kind of really... You know what I mean?
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
Sure.
Yeah, but really, if you have been raped, and also you go for abortion.
Also, let me cut you short again. You get pregnant.
Yes.
Your brother, your uncle has impregnated you. Like, wow.
Yeah, babies of incest and all that stuff.
Let me put in that shoe.
Yeah.
Will you raise that child? Will you go for counseling? You as Anne.
I will think for that child. You see.
Will you raise that child?
What has that child?
Will you raise your uncle's child?
What has that child done? The child hasn't done anything wrong. The child doesn't know whether it is through rape, through incest, through these sad experiences, which are really very sad.
Look at our African society.
Yes.
Very strict. It upholds some really strong values in terms of now sexuality, relationships, and of course family.
Yes.
But look at the situation.
Kenya is pro-life, is pro-family.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah. Now look at the situation. I'll ask you again, Anne, will you raise a child? That's actually your brother.
Okay, my question would be, Anne, would you kill?
Okay. The thing is,
would you kill
will you
this
survive?
baby?
Will you survive raising this child up? I know the beauty of life, but the bigger picture is, look at the society.
Yeah, this society is trying to create a situation whereby the baby inside a woman is trying to be seen like a burden or a nuisance or something. But even in these sad situations, they are very sad, yes. And I'm imagining a woman who has undergone rape, and then you go and expose them through abortion. Having interacted with post-abortive women, this is even leading them to, it's a wrong being solved with another wrong. And dealing with these both experiences, because abortion is sometimes even worse than rape, the effects on women. Having interacted with these post-abortive women, I can say that. So it's better if you provided another solution like adoption. Give birth. Sometimes the woman can give birth, they don't want to see that child, but this child is given to other people to bring them up. They can grow up in a children's home, or they can be brought up by couples who are not even fertile. You don't need to see that child, but at least you'll have that in your mind. At least you brought her life, you never killed. Okay. Killing is really, it's really.
This is a topic, of course, as sensitive as it might be. I understand there's some aspects of also saying the truth, and also because now people are watching also young girls. When you mention contraceptives, you know, it's like encouraging sex out here, and unprotected sex to be specific. Now, look at some countries which have made abortion legal. Now, the economic angle of some of these countries, for example, let's say China, they've started a situation whereby 2 children, for the second kid, you have to pay the government because of the economy, population control. Now, I understand also population control bodies, international population control bodies, have a part to play in this.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. It's an agenda worldwide. To the population control is an agenda. It all starts with contraception. It goes all the way to homosexuality. Everything that goes to population control is an agenda. It's discussed, it's planned, and it has been pushed worldwide. And if you see some nations like you say China, even Europe, they're experiencing a demographic winter because a certain section of their population is wading out. Okay. Youth, I mean, they're not there. Old people or some section of the population is wading out because of these population control policies they have come up with. And I'm very happy with some of those European countries like Hungary. Hungary is very pro-family. They're actually encouraging, they're giving money to people or to parents that get married. If you get married, that is one, you qualify for some financial grant. And every other child you come up with, it qualifies you, even, for example, if you have 4 children, you qualify for a free house in Hungary.
That's because the economy can allow that.
Hungary is not, it's not doing so good.
Let's come back home. Let's come back home.
Yes, let's come back to Kenya.
Because now, coming back home, when you have 6 children, then the government gives you a house, my friend, in your dreams. But still, maybe one day we'll hit that target. Now, back to this conversation. You know, as Africans, we grew up, and of course our society encouraged kids, because sometimes you say it's because of security, because of when one goes, others remain. There's so many things surrounding this conversation. But looking at the agenda of being anti-abortion, this is something, of course, from the biblical perspective, from even our churches, including Sozo, which actually is at the forefront. Do you think this war will be won? Because at the same time, there's so much wars. Like Parliament, even this thing went to Parliament some time back. It didn't actually materialize.
Well, it's not really like a war, because today, if we carried out a referendum and we ask Kenyans to vote for yes, or for life, or for abortion, you will be shocked, because majority of Kenyans are silent pro-lifers. They won't go making noise, they won't go demonstrating or carrying out banners and all that, but they are pro-life. A survey carried by Ipsos in 2014 showed that over 87% of Kenyans are pro-life. So that tells you who we really are. If you go to my village where I've grown up in Nyahururu, and where I was born in Ukambani, you will find that a child brings happiness. You know, it's a blessing to have a child, and it's not just because of it's biblical. This is because a child is a human being. Who are we dealing here? A human being. Personally, I was conceived in a crisis. My mom was to become a Catholic nun, and in her 4th year, she conceived me. And you can imagine she was in a lot of crisis. If Mary Soaps existed then, maybe I wouldn't be here today, because she would have succeeded in aborting me, because I had actually come in her way of becoming achieving some career goals, you know. So, but because she never made carried out an abortion. You know, that's why I'm here today. I was a crisis pregnancy, and I can tell everybody out there, because in every crisis pregnancy there is a human being. In every crisis pregnancy there is a Nick, there is President Uhuru, there's even President Obama was a crisis pregnancy. So just because there is a pregnancy that has come by that is not planned, it doesn't mean that you should kill a person. There's no one who has a right to take another person's life. Even if we have to go to the book, to the Bible, because Citizen Go is a Christian body. Actually, we do our mission is to defend life, family, and religious freedom across the globe, and we do so by petitions. And we are guided mostly also by the Bible. And if you go to the Bible in the book of Jeremiah, it says God had a plan for every person. Even when you are in the womb, I knew you. So that shows that even God encourages life, encourages people to give birth. And that's why when we saw these billboards by the Sozo Church of God, and the church is pro-life in Kenya and in most of the countries is pro-life, and it draws its inspirations on the Bible. We saw that the rights of this church are being infringed. Article 33 and 32 of our Kenyan constitutions encourage people to be free to express themselves, and actually to be free to express their opinions and not to be discriminated upon. And this was, they've actually infringed the rights of this church, and actually we are encouraging them to seek legal redress, because Dr. Light Limited has given them a notice to pull down their billboards, and these billboards were just reaffirming what the Kenyan Constitution reads, and the Kenyan Constitution is pro-life. Yeah, so we did a petition on our website, on the Citizen Go website, and so far it has collected almost 5,000 signatures, and that is in support of these billboards, and people are still signing. Yeah, because Kenyan people are pro-life. Yeah.
Now, still, as much as we're talking about this, yes, being pro-life, the government, our constitution supports this. Legal redress coming soon. Corridors of justice is what now the battle is about to start. Now, will the constitution, of course, the judiciary, the constitution is just one thing. They have to look at what's happening. Factual. Now, do you think these are a losing battle for the other party?
Well, for them it's an agenda, it's an industry, so they really want to win, but us, we are just defending what is right. We're just defending what is factual, what people want, and whether they lose or not, we just want the right thing to prevail. Because at the end of the day, abortion will never be something else. It will always be murder. Whether we legalize it, whether we pass it in parliament, whether we we shout it loud or carry many banners, it still remains that abortion is murder. We are killing a person. You are stopping a heart with every abortion that is carried out. And actually, the stigma that comes up with carrying out an abortion, it should be the stigma against babies, against life. It's not a stigma for people to choose what they should do with their bodies. I even wonder why women should actually promote abortion, because I've seen, even you saw the Meghan Markle, coming out with the husband, carrying out their bundle of joy, and they have been very excited, because it's another person they have brought into this world. They are very happy about this gift, and they are very happy because they know this person has a future and is possible to for him to become a very great person in this world. So in every life there's a potential, whether that life will end up to be a cleaner, or to be a news person like you, or to be an advocate like myself. There is a potential in every conception that happens. So what we should be encouraging as people is that we should avoid instances where we come up with what they call unplanned pregnancies. Why should a woman and a man go have and expose themselves in a situation where they will come up with a baby will come. So We should know as people, as youth, as Kenyans, that every choice has a consequence, and we should be very careful with, with the choices that we take.
Let's hold it right there.
Yeah.
We take a short break, but when we come back now, we want to look at situations. Now, imagine you just finished your, maybe let's say, your Form 4 studies, maybe university, you still don't have this job. Both sides, actually vice versa, the boy and the girl, and you feel like you're not ready to raise this child. Financially, you're not actually very capable, you don't have anything. Trust me, even your parents are not supporting you. So what will you do? Because at the same time, as much as we're talking about pro-life, abortion, we're talking about now kind of giving birth, of course, a bundle of joy. There's an aspect of whereby this child will be born and maybe be subjected to suffering in this world. So when you come back, Anne now will be giving us all those details. Of course, how you can now try to move on from there. The research shows that a higher percentage of those who are bought are actually fearful of not raising this child well. I'll be coming to you after a short break. All right, welcome back to Morning Live. Now, you feel like you're not done with school, you feel like you've just started your work, you feel like you still don't have that financial capacity to raise up that kid, you feel like there's so much pressure in the society for you to fit in a certain cliche. Actually, cliche, and it's something that indeed has been out here, and it's resulting to numerous abortion cases whereby you feel like so many people are not ready to raise this child. Now, in this situation, a higher percentage of people feel like, indeed, I have to get rid of it because now I'm not ready to raise this child. A very, very big percentage, and this is something that is happening as we're speaking right now. There's so much pressure. The economy is not even supporting, and so many people actually tweeting right now. They have their own reasons. As much as we're talking about pro-life, it seems from my feedback when actually someone has asked, let me just read a comment.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm jobless, or I've just started my new job, I'm in school. What should I do?
Well, first we should, for the school children, we should avoid instances of having sex before even getting married. I think this is
now it has already happened.
It has already happened. Yeah, we should have that conversation of how can we help you? Seek for help. Because this is a pregnancy. This is somebody that you are bringing into this world. You are beginning that new job. Okay, and there's another person inside you. You're jobless. And I like the saying that it takes a village to bring up a child. And I like the song that was released the other day by Sauti Sol, which says that every child comes with its own plate. And so many crisis pregnancies come up because of those situations that you have just mentioned. You know, somebody feels it's not ready.
Actually, 80%.
80% of crisis pregnancies, because and you see this person is able to give birth and give this child for adoption, you know, if they are not ready to bring up the child. But
you know, when you give birth, you're not just giving birth. There's some sort of attachment. By the time you have that drive to give your child for adoption, there must be something. There must be a gap. Now look at this. You just cleared school. You're maybe waiting for your Form 4 results, KCSE for that matter, for you to join college. Or you just cleared, you've graduated, a new job is coming up next. There's no way in a new job just start straight to the maternity leave.
Yeah, Nick, do you know the side effects of abortion in the first place, even before you think about it? Do you know the side effects? First,
so many,
when you're carrying out that abortion, in the first place, before you go to that table, you could come out there without your womb, with your uterus. There's so many side effects. And you could lose even your life because of bleeding. We have seen so many instances. Even in those they call themselves safe clinics. Like, they call themselves they're good clinics. People have died while procuring abortions. The other side effect could be you will be infertile for the rest of your life. I mean, it could affect your fertility. The other effect could be trauma most of the women, actually almost, like you said, almost over 80% of the women that have carried out abortion are suicidal. They want counseling, and that's why we have these centers like Pearls and Treasures that every other day they are being called by women who have carried out an abortion and they don't want to be mentioned. I did an abortion because I thought it would solve my problem, but it only started my problem.
Yeah, it wasn't everything.
Leave alone bleeding, leave alone, you losing uterus and everything else, just having it in your mind. Because you will see that a child is growing, your neighbor's child is growing, and you'll be saying, my child would be like this if I had never aborted. The mental torture that goes with an abortion, it's even worse than any physical torture that goes with it. So people should think about the side effects. And the other side effect is that you kill a person. This is actually the basic of it. You kill a human being. And killing a human being, actually, you can never, it's very difficult to live with it.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Now, backstreet abortions, very interesting one here, because now they're termed always very dangerous, but still, abortion is an abortion. Whether backstreet or maybe upmarket, whatever abortion, it's an abortion. It's very correct. But look at the ways, in fact, advisory-wise, because now, what can you tell these people contemplating to go ahead with this? Because another statistic also, 17% of people who go to the backstreet abortion lose their lives. Actually, they don't come out of those rooms.
Yeah. And recently when I had a meeting with the medical board, and when Professor Magawa was the chairperson, I had a discussion with the board members, and we encouraged them to actually hunt after any backstreet clinic that is performing abortion, because first, you're doing an illegal activity in Kenya, and second, you're risking people's lives. So this is something that we have encouraged the medical board to go after. So going after an abortion actually should not even be in any person's mind. What we should be encouraging as Kenyans, as the Ministry of Health, as the Ministry of Education, even as the society as a whole, is we should encourage first, keep off any instance that you can get pregnant and you're not in a marriage arrangement. Number two, if it happens, there are places you can give birth and leave the child. There's crisis pregnancy centers. Actually, even Sozo Church of God was giving a number where you can call if you have an instance where you're not sure that about a pregnancy that you have. You are a teenager, you like you said, you're in a job that you think you will lose a job, and all those cases. So we should be looking at solutions instead of encouraging it, because what we as Citizen Go and every other Kenyans are thinking about is that child that is defenseless, is innocent, it has not hurt anybody, it just found itself there in the womb. And I'm sure even those children, if they were to speak, when there's that, abortion being carried out, if they were to speak, they would ask, what have I done? Why am I being killed,
So someone has just actually tweeted right now, and the boyfriends who wanaruka mimba.
Yeah, this has been a great problem. and actually, we're encouraging people to also encourage these young men to take responsibility. And I like what Pastor Mbevi is doing with the Man Enough program. There's
Man Enough.
Yeah, the Man Enough program. You man up when you... choices have consequences. That is actually what people should be thinking about. Choices have consequences. If you impregnate a woman, take responsibility. And I think even we should come up with a law. And actually the law is there. If you make a woman pregnant, you should take a responsibility. Because this is a responsibility of both the man and the woman.
It's true that.
Yeah.
It's true that. Thank you so much, Anne. This conversation, by the way, we can't finish it today. But for the young men out there, please take responsibility. These are two-way traffic. She wasn't alone there, and of course, just take responsibility.
Yes, can I say something?
Sure. Before we end up,
on March 18th, we are going to have a march at the Huru Park from 10 a.m. We are going to be defending the right to advertise for pro-life people, because you're not just to let this go. And if Adopt a Light does not want to do pro-life billboards. We'll take other advertisers, and the billboards will be back soon,
Okay.
and there will be many. Will be adding even more.
Okay.
Pro-life and pro-family billboards, and people can sign the petition supporting these billboards on the Citizen Go website, www.citizengo.org. There's so many pro-life. So many pro-life petitions that you can sign.
Okay. Thank you so much, Anne, for coming.
Thank you, Nick, for having me.
Karibu sana. And for the young men out there, please take responsibility. When these things happen, it's tomorrow. Tomorrow, maybe you never know what tomorrow holds. Just be strong. And of course, for the ladies out there, I believe I'm seated. Life is important. At the end of the day, the choice goes back to you. Taking a short break. When you come back, Dolly will be in studio now to talk about exposing your child to social media. All that coming to you after a short break.